Hey everyone, here I am at day 2 with my carburetor rebuild. We'll see if I can get anywhere with it today. Yesterday I kind of took took a few things apart and sprayed it with some WD-40 and ran the air hose through it. And it looked like it was working, but apparently it isn't. So today I'm actually going to take the whole thing apart, and I just brushed up on a really good, two really good videos on YouTube. I'll try to leave a link in the description. But yeah, anyway, this thing definitely is not getting gas, not getting enough fuel. And I thought about it for a little bit, and chances are if I just would have took a little more time, I probably would have gotten it. I would imagine that the needle in the seat is stuck in the bowl, which typically happens when stuff dries out. So, yeah, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to take this apart, and we'll see if I can find anything wrong with it, and hopefully get it running today. There we go. Alright, so that made a big mess. So there's definitely fuel in there, so this needle and seat probably is okay, and yeah, it looks like it is. Right there you can see it plunging up and down just fine. It's not stuck. So yeah, I'll just go over everything. I'll clean. This is your main jet here. Wow, there goes the pin for the float. Fell out all by itself, and let's see. There you can see the little needle and seat. So yeah, apparently this is your main jet, and this is like your idle. This is your low speed jet here. I'm not sure exactly what this is. I think this may be tied. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not sure. Actually, this should run up to. They call this your auto enrichener. It's kind of like a choke. It stays open. So this is kind of like your low speed mixture as well. This will stay open until the motor warms up, and then this plunger will come down and shut that off. So yeah, I'm probably going to take these out and blow some air through them, make sure they're open and everything. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll take this off, and this passage should go up to here. And we'll make sure that's all open. Alrighty, before I take this main jet out, it's probably a good idea to take the top of this off and get the needle out of it, so that way it'll be safe. Just set that to the side. Alright, that's just to be safe. I think you would be alright. And then I can take this main jet out. I probably will have to get a wrench for this. See if this little... Nah. Alrighty, I got a little bit better of a screwdriver. We'll see if this works any better. There we go. So there's our main jet tube, and I'm sure it's clear. I haven't looked at it yet. Wow, I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, but yeah, it was actually a little clogged there, so I'm going to spray it with some WD-40 and just blow it out with the air hose. Alrighty, I got my glasses on, and I don't know how well the camera will pick that up, but it did look like it opened up some. So maybe that was one of the issues with it. So yeah, I think this will be good enough. I'm going to clean it up a little more, and then I'm going to put it back in, and then I'll move on to the low-speed jet. Alright, now that that's all cleaned out, all these little holes in the side are nice and clean. I'm just going to throw this back, and we'll move on to the next one. This doesn't fit it too well. Grab this other screwdriver. There we go. So that's what that one looks like. It's just a smaller version of the main jet. It's got little holes in the side. And I'll hold it up to the camera first. I can't see any light through it. It looks completely clogged to me. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. I actually have my glasses on this time, so I'm pretty sure this is clogged. And that's definitely why this isn't working. Yeah, I can't even blow air through it. So I'm going to hit it with some WD-40. I might have to get a paper clip and shove it through there. But yeah, I'm going to clean this out, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, this jet seems especially gunky. I'll probably take the other jet out. And what I did was, I was lucky enough to find some wire. I'm not sure if this is, I think this is aluminum wire. And it actually fits in there, and you can see the very first plunge, all this greasy, nasty stuff came up. So, and it's completely clogged yet. I don't know how well the camera can get it. But I'm going to keep spraying this with WD-40 and just trying to work this wire through to clean it out. But yeah, it seems like it is especially gunky. There's a lot of something in there. Looks like grease. But yeah, look at that. That's a good amount of crud. Let's blow it through with the air compressor. Alright, so it's opened up a little better. I don't think the camera's going to be able to see that. I should actually aim it towards the sunlight. But it did open up a little bit. And I also have these bread ties, and the wire inside is thin enough to pretty much go through everything, so I should be able to get this guy all the way through. But it doesn't seem to want to go through. A little more gunk. And yeah, it looks like it's clogged up again, so I'm going to clean this up off camera, and I'll see if I can get a good shot of it when I'm done. Be right back. Alrighty, there's no way I'm going to be able to get a good shot of this on camera, but anyway, I have this bread tie, and I stripped the mylar off it, and you can see it's actually small enough to go through these little holes on the side of the jet. But there is there is a tiny hole inside of here. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. But it's so tiny I can't even get the bread tie through it. So I guess that's just how tiny it is. It seems like it should be a lot bigger. And maybe if I get this back together and it doesn't work, I'll have to look back into this. But that should be clear and open. I can see daylight through it, and the hole is really, really tiny. So I'm not really sure what to make of that. But I'm going to put it back and try to take everything else apart and look for, see if there's anything else that looks like it might be an issue. There's definitely some kind of grease or sludge or something that was built up, so maybe that was the issue. It's these passages are incredibly tiny. So that's good enough. No need to overdo that. This one's... And I'm just gonna clean this out one more time. And yeah, this one's normal. This one looks good. No need to really worry. I can probably... No, I can't get the wire through it, but yeah, I don't know. You can see there's quite a bit of dirt and gunk in there. And now it's completely clogged. So I guess I'm going to have to clean both of these out some more once again. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, I got all the sludge and gunk out of here. I've tried a bunch of times to clog it back up again with the stuff that's inside. This main jet should finally be good. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull the low-speed jet out. I'm going to pull the low-speed jet out and clean that some more until I'm satisfied. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I got this cleaned up, I guess as good as it gets, and this really does kind of bug me, the fact that I can't get this bread tie wire through it. But there is a little hole, and it does, you know, air does go through it, so it is open. So I'm going to put it back in, and we'll hope for the best here. There we go. But that main jet was definitely clogged. This little jet was definitely clogged. So, you know what? In all honesty, I think might as well put the top back on, and then we'll go from there. And this is in good shape. There's nothing wrong with this diaphragm or anything. Let's take off this auto enrichener. Oh, I'm going to have to grab a different screwdriver, I think. Yeah, this one doesn't fit too well. Alright, this is how you deal with stubborn screws. See how well this works. Look at that. Comes right out. Didn't even click once. Boom. So that's so much better than destroying the screw with all the screwdrivers that just aren't cutting it. So it looks like we got a little O-ring type gasket in there. And you can see the little plunger in there. So the plunger is already open, so I'm not going to really bother messing with this. Apparently, if you leave it hooked up long enough, the solenoid activates and the plunger closes and closes that little port off. Trying to think which is what. Okay, so I believe this passage goes up to here, and then let me see how that works. See if I can explain this. It's kind of hard when you switch orientation. Okay. So the fuel comes in here, goes out through the plunger there, and then that's what feeds your low-speed mixture. It like overrides it. But anyway, all that stuff looks good, and I just want to make sure, if I got this correctly, that this passage should be open through here. So I'm going to blow that out with the air compressor, and we'll see if it's got an open passage or if it's clogged. My good friend WD-40 there. And I can actually see WD-40 coming out the bottom, so I know it'll be alright, but alright, so that should be good. All this stuff is good, I would hope. And it's going to be kind of hard, but inside here, actually I can see some crud and stuff that I probably have. That came out from me using the air compressor. But you can see there's a little passage down here, and there's one on the side here too. So this side one apparently is kind of like your choke. It'll get gas on the other side of the butterfly here pretty quickly, and then this should be your low-speed mixture right here. And you can see the passage for the mixture screw goes underneath it, and right there. And yesterday I cleaned all that stuff out, but since I am doing everything, I think I'm gonna take this mixture screw out and just run some air through it just to make sure. And also, if this passage goes through here, I have to look at this again. So we go in through here, out through there, and then I'm not sure what what this passage is for. I think it's not completely blocked off. I think that might have, who knows, it might open up if the plunger goes down, but I'm going to run the air compressor through there as well before I forget. And I'll see if it... Oh yeah, it definitely looks like that's nice and open. I'm going to fill this other one up. Maybe I can figure out where that goes. They might just go to the same. It's open, whatever it is. And yep, you can. That's nice and open. And let's check this. Let's check out this other. Yep, that passage goes right through there, and that's nice and open. I could definitely see that. This up again, make sure. Get a little more WD-40 in there. So, yeah, I left that all the way down. That's bad. That'll completely shut off. So, nobody's really sure. I'll have to adjust this after I get it on and it actually works. Half, 1. I'm going to turn this out to 1.5, and that seems to me like it would be completely open, which is where you want to start. And I like to put WD-40 on everything when I put it back together. I could take all this apart. I'm not really too worried about it. The carb isn't working and this is open, so that's definitely not where the problem is. Alright, I'm pretty confident about that. I guess I should bench test it again, although yesterday when I bench tested it, it did look like it was going to work, and it never did. But basically what I'll do is, after I get this all together, I'll fill up the bowl, and then I'll hold the throttle plate open and just blow air through it, and if I see fuel coming out the other side, I know everything's good, or at least there's a good chance it will be. Yeah, yesterday was one of the few times where I tested a carb out on the bench and it didn't work, so I guess that can happen. Not every technique is perfect, but it did look like it was severely restricted. And get our needle and seat back in there. Hopefully I got this the right way. I think I do. And then this pin just falls right in. Some of these pins, usually one end of the pin will be hammered so it can't just slip right out. Once it's in, it doesn't matter. There isn't enough clearance for it to fall completely out. But I was a little shocked when it fell out when I took it apart. So, throttle cable. This is supposed to be a diaphragm pump in here, and honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but apparently it fluctuates with the vacuum of the engine and actually pumps fuel through the system. So I'll probably take that apart and look at it as well, and see if there's anything obvious I can see in there. But I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, if there's you know, a low-speed jet and a main jet, that should work. But the main jet will be restricted by that needle, and if that's not coming up, it's not going to get fuel. But hopefully this works. Alright. So I'm not even going to mess around. Wow, I highly recommend using your impact gun to take stuff on the carburetor apart. Makes it so much nicer. You really shouldn't need it, but yeah, if you've ever taken carburetor stuff apart, you know that this stuff binds to the aluminum pretty good sometimes. That's why they always break free with that little snap. So let's see what this little vacuum pump is all about. And there you go. There's not even a little rubber diaphragm in there. This is brand new, first time I ever opened it. So, this is really, really interesting. I don't know a whole lot about these carbs, but this is just a blocked passage. It absolutely goes nowhere. I can't see anything at all. So this is completely useless. As far as I can tell, it just a way of blocking off the vacuum to the other vacuum lines. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I saw a video today. There's supposed to be a little rubber diaphragm, and that diaphragm's supposed to act as a pump. I was curious about that. Now I know. At least on this Keihin carburetor, there's absolutely nothing in here. It's completely blocked off. So I think I had it this way. Let's throw that back together. So I'm gonna throw this back together, and I'm gonna put it in the scooter, and we'll see what happens. Alrighty, we'll see what happens. I know it might take a little while to get gas into the bowl, but hopefully it'll be alright. Absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna wet the sock and at least get it running, and hopefully when it's running it'll pull some fuel through and be all right. But it's not looking real good. I should have did something. And we know we got plenty of fuel, and I've tested out the vacuum petcock valve. It works just fine. So yeah, that's what's up with these carburetors. They're a pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get it to run anyway, and we'll see what happens. All right, there's our good old sock, and let's see what happens. Give it a lot of fuel. Open that butterfly up. That should be good. Alright, so the first attempt with the carburetor didn't go so well, and it looked like nothing was happening, so I grabbed the sock and tried to get it to run on the sock like I did yesterday, and it just wouldn't go. So basically I pulled the sock out, and she fired right up, and now she's running good, hopefully. So I turned the idle down a little bit and shut it off, so I'm going to see if she'll start right back up for me. And I'm not going to bother giving it any throttle. Oh, beautiful. So, yeah, I could probably turn the idle down a little more, but that's not too bad. I think I also have to plug in the choke. But anyway, there you go. Apparently that's the main problem in these carburetors. Apparently there's some kind of grease or gunk that gets into the jets, and that's it. And as far as that low-speed jet, the orifice in there is really, really tiny. But anyway, I'm super happy that I got this thing running. I've been down this road before, and last time I just bought a new carburetor, which is this one that I rebuilt. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna finish this thing up and start working on some other things. It's a little late in the day. I might try to do some rides for subscribes, but other than that, I think that's going to do it. And till later, I'll catch you guys later.